let us all do we can to build a better future.
Okay, so this is an interesting article I found. It's sort of a mix of stories, but it is effectively one main story, which is that Facebook. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, I should do Facebook content and do politics. Don't. Facebook is basically cutting that out.
We learned that the hard way.
So I'm gonna read this from the New York Times because I think it's funny the way they introduce it. Because of course this is I don't think this is an opinion piece, but it sure sounds like it. But let's talk about it. So it's this from the New York Times called "What's Next," and it's "Keep it civil" is the first line. If you're tired of your crazy uncle's political rants on Facebook, nice stereotyping right there, by the way, you may be welcome to this development. The social media platform is changing its algorithm, of course, after the election, right, to reduce political content in people's news feeds. So you're just not going to get that content, except, of course, if you've ever been on Facebook, you might learn or know that every comment section is that. So what are they going to do? Get rid of comments? That's not solving anything. It's just, I don't know. The new algorithm, which makes political content less prominent but does not remove it, is being tested in several countries. Also, think of the power you get when you get to determine what's political. We already gone through this 1,000 times. We know what's going to happen with this. If it's mainstream media news, it's like, oh no, that's just news. It's not politics. But when you do it, oh, that's politics. It's not news. Will expand to the United States in the coming weeks. It's being tested, I should say, in several countries. It won't be expanded. The changes come as, by popular request, quote, one of the top pieces of feedback we're hearing from our community right now is that people don't want politics and fighting to take over their experiences on their service. Well, I would argue, if you take away that, you're just a phone book.
Yeah.
What else are you, Facebook? Facebook gaming? That doesn't exist.
Facebook was originally
most of
dating.
their other stuff are just videos that are ripped off of YouTube or Reddit, and that they don't have any real policy to when people are claiming. Like, yeah, that's a whole other thing. Go check out in your own time how Facebook screws people over by not having a real content ID system, so that which is what they usually do, they'll steal YouTubers' stuff on YouTube, and then they'll post it on Facebook, and they'll get all the money from it. That's like Unilab and stuff. Anyway, a separate topic. Personal vendetta. But not all political posts will be affected, however. Content from official government agencies. I wonder who those are going to be. Probably not just mainstream media and the government. That would be absurd state propaganda levels, but of course will be exempt from the change. So that's the main story. That's the one that I think that we all need to focus on, is that Facebook is now picking and choosing political winners. And then there's a couple other that I do want to go through as well that are in this article. So India and Twitter are fighting, and Twitter's trying to stay up in India because a lot of people are using it like Arab Spring style to communicate. And India keeps telling them to take it down. What's really funny, that I thought was really funny when I read this, is that they're refusing to make some of the requests happen. So they're not removing accounts of some journalists, some activists. Again, it's what Twitter determines, and other figures. Whereas, if you're pro-Palestine for whatever reason and you have a successful Facebook page, Israel has some words with Facebook, and that won't be the same for very long. But if it's India, I guess it's a little different. Let's see. Now the Indian government is accusing Twitter of breaking their laws. So there's that. Okay, now what do we have next? Now we have a GameStop piece, and regulators and policymakers are freaking out because, well, they're like, we don't want to regulate, but they're sort of making us because the little guy's winning. So there's going to be a congressional hearing, because this is, we don't need a congressional hearing on people not having homes. We don't need a congressional meeting on people that don't have health care. We don't need one for people that don't have jobs. We don't need one for small businesses that have been shut down with no recourse. But we do need one for GameStop, that's going to have leaders from Reddit, the hedge fund Citadel, and the stock trading platform. Are any of the people in the actual Reddit community going to be invited? It doesn't seem like they are based on this writing. So there's 3 things the New York Times are talking about, and I'm not impressed.
All right, so just a personal bias point of view on this one. I've disconnected myself from Facebook. Like, I basically removed any, any kind of interest into it a long time ago. If you were with Hard Lens Media from the very beginning in 2017, we used to upload content on there. But what was sad is every time we uploaded original content, Facebook was always like, nope, nope, nope. No one else is going to see it unless you pay us money.
Yeah.
And I think maybe this is the beginning of the end of Facebook. I don't see it as a real viable source for any content creator. If you are going to be involved in social media, and it doesn't have to be independent media, if you're going to do anything, don't do it on Facebook. Facebook is a drain of resources. It's a waste of time. And the thing is, I think everyone tends to forget how Facebook, again, got started. It was originally supposed to really find out if, you know, somebody was single or not. It used to be
hot or not.
Yeah, like a dating app a long time ago. I mean, that's what it was like in the very bare bones beginning. And it's very interesting to see its rise and, dare I say it, its potential fall. And you know, we keep saying this on Hard Lens Media as well. Look, all these social media sites should be public utilities. And the thing is, like, what? Getting rid of anyone's comments or sections? I mean, you know, when you get on the internet, guess what? You're going to run into people that are rude, who don't like you, who are just straight up jerks, okay? That's how it is. When you come onto the internet, just be prepared to run into some of the worst people ever, but also you're going to run into good people as well. But the thing is, if you start censoring all the bad people, all the good people are also going to be censored as well, because as soon as you step out of line from the corporate narrative, you are banned, you are censored, you are deplatformed. Look, they demonetized Tim Black's Facebook page, all right? And he has a larger following on that platform. No one should lose that. But yet, that's what's going to happen to a lot of content creators. And so Facebook, it's one big waste of time. Way to ruin your legacy, Zucky. Daniel, any other final notes?
We should go on TikTok, apparently. That's not a bad idea. I don't know what we do there, but we can try.
Hard Lens Media on TikTok. Sounds like a good idea.
Hey, China.